In the vast, silent theater of space, things are happening all the time that we can barely wrap our heads around. Stars are born, galaxies smash into each other, and entire worlds are reformed. Most of this plays out over millions of years, totally unseen. But for 1 week in 1994, humanity had a front-row seat to a celestial execution. We pointed every telescope we had at Jupiter, the biggest planet in our solar system, and we watched it get absolutely pummeled by a dead comet. What we saw was a level of violence that makes our entire human history look like a minor squabble. It was a spectacle that forever changed how we see the solar system and our own fragile place in it. It all started with a strange, squashed-looking object spotted in the dark. But it ended in July of 1994, when for 6 straight days, we watched a train of over 20 pieces of a comet, some over half a mile wide, slam into Jupiter. This wasn't just a fireworks show, it was a week of unimaginable violence, leaving behind scars bigger than our entire planet. On the night of March 24, 1993, at California's historic Palomar Observatory, comet hunters Carolyn and Eugene Shoemaker, along with their colleague David Levy, were doing what they did best, scanning the night sky. They were pros, but an image from their telescope that night showed something they'd never seen before. It wasn't your typical fuzzy ball with a tail. Instead, it looked like a squashed, flattened bar of light, a celestial train wreck. When they got a look with more powerful telescopes, the truth was stunning. This wasn't one comet, it was a whole procession, a string of pearls of at least 21 fragments marching in a line. Astronomers raced to calculate its orbit and uncovered another shocker. This object, officially named Comet Shoemaker-Levy 9, wasn't orbiting the Sun. It was orbiting Jupiter. By tracing its path backward, they pieced together its tragic story. The comet was probably a single, normal object that got snagged by Jupiter's massive gravity decades earlier. Then, in July of 1992, it made a fatal mistake. It swung too close to the gas giant, crossing a gravitational point of no return called the Roche limit. Jupiter's tidal forces, the same kind of force that causes tides on Earth, acted like a cosmic torture rack, stretching and shredding the comet into over 20 pieces. The Shoemakers and Levy hadn't discovered a comet. They had discovered its floating remains. And those remains were on a collision course. Once the calculations were undeniable, a jolt of excitement shot through the scientific community. For the first time ever, we knew for a fact that 2 major objects in our solar system were going to collide, and we had more than a year to get ready. This was an incredible opportunity to see the kind of event that builds planets, something we'd only ever seen the ancient leftovers of in craters on the moon. The scientific world mobilized like never before. Every major observatory from California to Chile to Australia cleared its schedule. The newly repaired Hubble Space Telescope, with its perfect view from above Earth's atmosphere, was aimed squarely at Jupiter. Even the Galileo spacecraft, which was still en route to Jupiter, was instructed to turn around and observe the spectacle directly from Jupiter. It was a true all-hands-on-deck moment for astronomy. But what would we actually see? Some scientists predicted the fragments might just vanish into Jupiter's thick clouds with a bit of a fizzle. Others predicted something far more dramatic. They hoped the collisions would dredge up material from deep inside Jupiter's atmosphere, stuff that's normally hidden from us, giving us a temporary window into the planet's soul. For a year, the world waited, planned, and wondered. Then, in July 1994, the countdown was over. The bombardment of Jupiter lasted for 6 days, from July 16th to July 22nd. One by one, the fragments of Shoemaker-Levy 9, labeled A through W, met their fiery end in Jupiter's southern hemisphere. They were moving at a ridiculous 60 kilometers per second, or 134,000 miles per hour. At that speed, the atmosphere doesn't slow you down, it makes you detonate. The first piece, Fragment A, hit on July 16th. Because of Jupiter's spin, the impact happened on the far side, out of our sight. but the Galileo spacecraft saw it happen. Its instruments registered a brilliant fireball that flashed to a temperature of 24,000 Kelvin, 4 times hotter than the surface of the Sun. An enormous plume of superheated gas erupted 3,000 kilometers into space before crashing back down. As Jupiter rotated, a new dark bruise spun into view, confirming the hit. The show had begun. The biggest punch landed on July 18th, when the massive fragment G took the plunge. The energy from this single impact was estimated at 6 million megatons of TNT. That's about 600 times the explosive power of every nuclear weapon on Earth, all going off in the same spot. It was an explosion on a scale that is simply hard to imagine. Hubble was watching as the impact site rotated into view just minutes later, and it saw a plume of material so enormous it was easily visible against the edge of the planet. When that plume collapsed, it left a scar. But scar feels too small a word. It was a dark, multi-ringed splotch stretching 12,000 kilometers across, a wound larger than the entire planet Earth. This new black eye was so huge it was even more noticeable than Jupiter's famous Great Red Spot. For days, the assault continued. Fragment after fragment hammered the same region, creating new scars and painting a chaotic mural of destruction across Jupiter's clouds. When the final piece, fragment W, hit on July 22nd, things fell quiet. The week of violence was over, but the evidence was painted all over Jupiter's face. The southern hemisphere was covered in dark, ugly bruises, shockingly visible even in the backyard telescopes of amateur astronomers. For a while, these impact sites were the most prominent features on the entire planet. For scientists, these scars were a gift. By watching how the dark debris got twisted and torn apart by Jupiter's weather, they could map the planet's high-altitude winds for the first time. The comet's remains, along with the material dredged up from Jupiter's depths, acted like a dye dropped into the atmosphere, revealing its hidden currents. Chemical analysis showed the fingerprints of molecules that had no business being there. They found compounds like carbon disulfide and, most surprisingly, water. The comet had delivered a huge amount of water to Jupiter's stratosphere, and incredibly, scientists can still detect traces of that water today, decades later. The scars themselves stuck around for many months, slowly fading as they were stretched and pulled apart by Jupiter's jet streams, a long-lasting reminder of one very rough week. The collision of Shoemaker-Levy 9 was way more than just a light show. It was a scientific goldmine, teaching us about impact physics, planetary atmospheres, and Jupiter's job as the solar system's gravitational bodyguard. But its biggest legacy had nothing to do with Jupiter. It had everything to do with Earth. As scientist Heidi Hammel put it, the event was a sort of punch in the gut. For the first time, this wasn't just a theory in a textbook or a sci-fi movie plot. The world watched, in real time, as a planet got hit by a comet, and the consequences were enormous. It was a stark demonstration that these kinds of catastrophic impacts aren't just ancient history. If it could happen to Jupiter, it could happen to us. The event served as a cosmic wake-up call. Before 1994, the idea of planetary defense often got a bit of a giggle factor in serious scientific and political circles. After Shoemaker-Levy 9, nobody was laughing anymore. The US Congress tasked NASA with finding and tracking near-Earth objects that could pose a threat. This event was a major catalyst that helped lead to the very systems that protect us today, boosting funding for asteroid hunting surveys and helping pave the way for missions like DART, which successfully tested our ability to deflect an asteroid. We had seen what an object just over half a mile wide could do to a gas giant. An impact of that scale here on Earth wouldn't just be a bad day, it would be a global catastrophe, an extinction-level event. Shoemaker-Levy 9 showed us with terrifying clarity that the universe isn't always a calm and predictable place. The collision of Comet Shoemaker-Levy 9 with Jupiter is still one of the most important astronomical events in modern history. We all got to witness a planetary cataclysm, a fundamental process of creation in the solar system, playing out live on TV. For a little while, Jupiter stopped being the distant king of the planets and became our neighbor, showing us both the terrifying power and the profound beauty of the cosmos. It was a humbling reminder that the ground under our feet is part of a much bigger system, a system where, sometimes, planets get hit. And we were just lucky enough to be watching when it happened.